Welcome to You Ask, We Answer, where our team breaks down your real questions about indoor air quality in a way that's clear, practical, and honest. Let's get started.
Air purification companies love to tout crazy numbers like 99.9% virus removal, 99.9% kill rates or inactive rates. But is it true? Well, let's find out. One of my biggest frustrations is the exaggeration and outright misleading marketing that indoor air quality companies do about their products. Let me give you 3 examples. Let's call the first company R. Company R claims to have 99.9% inactivation rate of viruses after 2 hours. Sounds great, doesn't it? The problem with their data is that they don't give you a control point or a control test. So in other words, that has to be compared to something. So what happens in 2 hours to these viruses if you do absolutely nothing? That would be the control test. Without a control test, the scientific data is essentially meaningless. And so let's take a look at another company. We'll call it Company T. They claim a 98% reduction in 1 hour. But they also showed the control test. And the control test showed that in that same hour, due to natural decay, 70% of the viruses were inactivated all by themselves. So in actuality, the kill rate was not 98%, it was 28% because 70% were dead by themselves. So it's not a 98% reduction, it was a 28% reduction. And let's say, use another company, Company P. Company P claims, wow, we've got a 99.99% inactivation of viruses in 1 hour. Other good thing about that company is they did also show their control points, and they showed that 81% of the viruses were inactivated by just doing nothing whatsoever in that same test chamber. So there again, not a 99.99 reduction in viruses, but just a 19% reduction. Well, 19 to 28% reduction is nothing to be ashamed about. It's still 19 to 28% is better than nothing, right? Or is it? Well, one other thing we know about their tests is that they were done in sealed test chambers. A home is nothing like a sealed test chamber. Homes leak air continuously. There actually is zero proof that their product works in a home. We know that their product has some improvement in a test chamber, but that doesn't mean it will do anything in your house. Air filters, on the other hand, can be tested at home with a very simple device called a laser particle counter. I bought my first laser particle counter about 20 years ago, and it cost me $800. I bought my second laser particle counter, a very high-level scientific laser particle counter, and it cost $4,000. Just last year, I bought a very accurate, high-quality laser particle counter for $169. I've even seen laser particle counters that a homeowner can purchase for as low as $37, and they're very accurate. And they're very simple to use. It's kind of a no-brainer. You take your laser particle counter, you place it in front of the return air where all of the air from your system is being sucked in. All the air from your home is going through the return air and into your system to be filtered. And so you put your laser particle counter there. And if you have 2 or 3 or 4 return air grills in your home, you would place it in front of 2 or 3 or 4 of them, and then take your average readings of how many particles there were. And then you take that same laser particle counter and you put it in the supply air. Now, you don't want to just set it on top of your supply air grill because of the turbulent air around that. It can actually suck dirty air in as the clean air is blowing out. So you want to take your supply air grill actually off the wall and set the monitor inside where just the clean air is coming out to get an accurate reading. And you take a measurement there of what the particle count is there. And then you do the math. It's really simple. You can find out what percent of the particles are being removed. So it's as simple as that. You don't have to rely on marketing claims because there are a lot of wild claims out there of how good products are. Oh, I don't want to miss this one example. There is a filter on the market that claims 97% arrestance. That was a term that was used before 1987. Nobody tests a filter with the arrestance method anymore. It's a term that was abandoned 50 years ago, but they're still using it in their marketing now. Just to kind of give you an idea of how bad the marketing is. They're claiming 97% arrestance when it's really a horrible filter. Okay, so you can test your own filters. You can test my NovusAer filter. I encourage it. I'd love for you to find out how good it is.
If you'd like a simple breakdown on how to test your own air filters, be sure and check out our article on essentialairproducts.com. Check the description below. If you're looking for straight answers about air filtration, then be sure and subscribe. Thanks for watching You Ask, We Answer. Clean air starts here.